Welcome to the last session of the Next Generation Leadership Academy. I am so excited for today's special guest and for today's three last topics that we're going to be going over. And I'm excited to start by talking about the first topic, your unique superhero squad, and the power of your associations. Because you may have heard that you become the average of the five people you most associate with. And today I've got an amazing, wonderful special guest. She is a beautiful soul, and you'll see that immediately right away when you hear her voice. I have watched her grow and blossom and bloom into an incredible leader, encouraging and inspiring so many people across North America. So I have with us tonight a very special treat. Her name is Liz Ibarra, and you're going to be hearing all about her. She is amazing. And Liz, if you wouldn't mind just sharing with everybody, what has been your experience with the law of associations and finding your a superhero squad?
Yeah, of course, Mrs. LeCue, thank you so much. Pleasure being on. I'm super excited about tonight. So, for me, the power of association can shape who we are, how we think, and where we go in life. And in your book, chapter 10, you write about our own lives are significantly impacted by the support systems we build around us. Our friends, family, mentors, and colleagues form our very own superhero squad. I wanted to emphasize where she wrote the support systems we build around us. Because we meet so many people in our lives, but we decide who we allow to stay and be a part of our superhero squad. In her book, Liz writes, it's important for us to find our superhero squad or our tribe to maintain good mental health and go on our journey of life together. Honestly, I feel like that's super important because in life, you meet people that can positively affect your mental health or be detrimental to your mental health, especially when it comes to toxic people. Liz writes about avoiding toxic people and how they can be emotionally draining. I've definitely encountered a fair share of toxic people in my life. They range from my friends, love interests, coworkers, and even family, all of which created unnecessary drama and stress. With some, it was constant negativity, and it got to the point where I just couldn't stand being around them anymore. For the simple fact that it was emotionally draining and severely affected my mental health. So I either lessened my communication with them or cut them off completely. I also had people in my life where, despite me always being there for them and making myself available, adjusting my schedules, the times when I couldn't, they turned it around and said I was being selfish and I was never there for them. And I will say though that these people taught me a lot. One of those lessons being that I was able to set healthy boundaries and not feel bad about it. So I'm gonna say if you have any toxic people in your life, know that it's okay to set those boundaries and not feel bad about it. Communicate with them less if need be, or just cut them off entirely. And then simply focus more on connecting with the positive people in your life. Now, in this book, she writes about where to find positive people to surround yourself with. One of those places being life groups such as churches and places of worship. In my early 20s, I attended a Catholic youth retreat and I enjoyed my time there so much. I got so much out of it that I decided to go back and volunteer. And there I met so many amazing people who helped me to guide me back to my faith and support me along that journey. Many of the people I met there are still in my life today. We reach out to each other in times of need and also in times of joy. And actually, that's where I met my boyfriend, Oscar. So I'm really blessed for him as well. Being part of that community has helped to shape and guide me in a positive way, simply for the fact that it helped to reestablish my faith. Because before that, I couldn't care less, and I knew that wasn't a good sign. So when I went and I was involved with this retreat, I got to reconnect with God, and it helped to teach me that I could lean on Him in times of need through prayer. but I could also rejoice with him in the joyful moments of my life as well. Another place that Liz writes about to find positive people to surround yourself with is home-based business opportunities, which is actually how Mrs. McHugh and I met, which I'm so thankful for. She has been one of the many mentors to guide me through this process, and she's so loving and caring and kind and always has a smile on her face, and I truly appreciate her for that. This opportunity has allowed me to meet so many amazing, like-minded people and to be a part of a community where the support and encouragement are absolutely endless. I will give a shout out to one of my workout partners, Mr. Lou Moya, for that. Thank you, sir. It's given me the opportunity to also grow mentally through personal development with the trainings and the books that we've read. I know I've definitely, like Ms. McHugh said, grown over the years. So I'm thankful for that opportunity. And the journey I've gone through has just been an incredible blessing, especially like I said before, because of the people I've gotten to meet, who are not only business partners, but have become dear, close friends and family. I will end with saying sometimes you meet people and you're so grateful to have them in your life, but then sometimes you meet people and for whatever reason you wish you never met them to begin with. But it's okay because ultimately I'm thankful for each and every single person that comes into my life. The experiences I've shared with them, good or bad, have helped to shape me into who I am today. And for that, I'll be forever grateful. But yeah, with that said, I will turn the call back over to you, Mrs. McHugh. Thank you so much for allowing me to share today.
Ah, so beautiful, Liz. Thank you so much for sharing from your heart your experiences of what you've been through and how you've been able to persevere through that. And I like what you said. You learned how to set healthy boundaries because I know people will try to make us feel guilty. It's like there's this real thing, just look it up, and it's called the bucket of crabs. The bucket of crabs. Did you know that if there's a bucket of crabs that are about to go to their death because they're about to go to the kitchen and all get cooked, and one of them tries to climb out of the top and is about to escape to its freedom, all the crabs in the bucket immediately link arms and grab that one crab and keep them from trying to escape. Now, this crab was about to try to escape to its freedom, but everyone else that was comfortable where they were about to go to their doom didn't want their friend to move on. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's hard sometimes when we're making that transition. But when it comes to toxic people that are negative or abusive to us, emotionally or physically, in any way, life is too short to spend time with toxic people, honestly. And so I'm proud of you for doing what you've had to do in order to move past that and also surround yourself in positive, loving environments. Our mentor, Brian Carruthers, wrote the book Got Game, and GAME stands for Great Associations, Mentors, and Environment. It's a book by Brian Carruthers. And he basically talks about when you are in a great environment of positive associations and mentors and a loving, encouraging, winning environment, guess what? You're going to end up being just like that, right? You're going to end up hitting your goal, whatever it is that you're trying to do. If you're hanging out with 5 people that smoke all the time, you're probably going to be the 6th person that smokes. If you're hanging out with 5 people that invest their money and save and invest their money, you're probably going to do the same thing. If you're hanging out with 5 people that are always wasting and blowing their money, you're probably going to be doing the same thing. If you hang out with 5 people that are getting in trouble all the time, you might end up being someone who gets in trouble eventually, whether you do it yourself or by law of association. And so that's awesome, Liz. Let's all give it up for Liz Ibarra. So proud of you. You're just so beautiful inside and out, and keep shining your love on the world. I know you're going to make a
Thank you.
big impact and a positive difference.
Mm, thank you.
So let's talk about the next topic. Let's talk about your dreams and your goals. Let's just pause and get out a pen and paper and start writing down what is the most important thing you want for your life this year? Like, what hurts your heart that you're not able to do right now that you want to be able to do? What is it that you want to be able to do, not just for you, but for the people that you love, for the community around you? And what do you want your life to be about this year? I want you to write it down because there's a study in 1953, the graduating class of Harvard MBA students, they were asked if they had any goals. Now, 3% said that they wrote down their goals, and 13% that they had goals, they just didn't have them written down. And then 84% said that they didn't have goals at all. They hadn't even stopped to think about it. 10 years later, the scientists who were studying this particular group of people went back and found that 13% of those who had goals but didn't write them down earned on average twice as much as the 84% who didn't have goals at all. So it's good to have a goal. But the 3% who both had a goal and wrote their goals down outperformed everyone all together by earning 10 times as much as all of the other 97% combined. Wow. So writing down your goals sounds like a good thing to do, doesn't it? My coach, David Bird, always says that you can have anything you want in life if you're willing to write it down and plan it out. So when I was younger, before I got married, my goal was to be a financially free fiance, pay off all my debt, and meet Mr. Right. So I wrote down on 10 pieces of paper, I am a financially free fiance. I am a financially free fiance. I put it all over my house. I taped it to my bathroom mirror. I put it on my microwave. I put it on my desk, the car dashboard. Everywhere I turned, it said, I am a financially free fiance. And friends would come over and they'd laugh and they'd say, what's this all about? So I know that it was funny, but actually it would remind me every day of where I was going. Because there were days, many days, that I felt sad or lost in my journey, but I would see it and I'd regain hope and remember where I was going and kept moving forward. So because I kept seeing it, I eventually became a financially free, paid off the debt, and yes, I met Mr. Right. So what are your goals for your life? We all have different goals for different areas of our lives. So let's just take a moment and write down what is your goal for this year for your relationships. What do you want to have happen in your relationships? Do you need to spend more time with your family? Do you need to carve out special time with your little brother or big sister who might be struggling? Do you need to go visit mom or grandma while they're still here on this earth? What are your goals for your relationships this year? Do you need to have more date nights? I know that's with 3 kids, that's usually the one that we need to always have. Let's transition to your health. Write down, what do you want for your health this year? Do we need to eat healthier foods? Do we need to eat more nutrient dense foods? Do we need to say no to the sugary soda? Do we need to get better sleep? What are your health goals for this year? What's most important for your life this year? Then take a moment and write down what's your goals for your career. Maybe you want to hit a new level. Maybe you want to finish a certain project or achieve a new income level. What are your goals for your career this year? And by when do you want to achieve it? How about your finances? Maybe start by writing down, how much do you have in savings right now? And are you happy with that number? Should we grow that number? What should that number be by the end of this year? How about your investments? Have you started investing? A lot of people say, oh, now's not a good time to invest in the market. Well, logically, doesn't it make sense to buy low and sell high? Logically, there are also other types of investments that are out there if you don't feel secure in the market that you can also learn about and get involved in. And so, what are your goals for your finances? Do you need to start tithing and giving? Has that been something that you've struggled with? And how about goals for fun? Goals for fun is a big one. A lot of the time, sometimes we're so focused, especially living in North America. I know people living in Europe have lots of fun, lots of vacation time. They have siestas in the middle of the afternoon. They take weeks off and months off per year. But here in North America, sometimes we're just so busy working all the time. And no fun makes Liz a dull girl, that's for sure. So, what are the things you want to do for fun? And how about your faith goal? What is your faith goal for this year? Are you spending enough time in the Word? Are you spending that quiet time and getting guidance and direction and wisdom? Are you surrounded with a loving community that's speaking into your life? What are your faith goals? Are you plugged into your church or place of worship each week where you will get that encouragement? So now that we have these, let's pick out one of the goals. What's the biggest goal here? Why don't you go ahead and circle the biggest one? I know it's hard because they're all important, all these different areas of your life, but what's the biggest one for this year? And I want you to write down after you've circled it, why is this goal important to you? Why is this goal important to you? Maybe your goal is to earn more money this year. But why is that important to you? Why do you want to earn more money? And this is where it really becomes meaningful when you can define why you want to do it. Let me give you an example. Maybe you want to earn more money this year so you can move out and have your own apartment. Woo, freedom, right? But maybe you want to earn more money so you can help contribute to your parents because you see your mom working really hard and still not being able to make it. And that really hurts you. Maybe you see your grandparents working past retirement age and their health is failing, and you want to be able to provide for them. One of my mentors, Darnell Self, really impacted my life when I heard his testimonial of how he was able to take that extra income that he earned that year with his part-time business and write a check to his grandma, retiring her from her job. And he said, Grandma, you're retired. And they videotaped the grandma's reaction and she was crying and it made me cry. I'll never forget that moment. So why do you want to earn more money this year? Why do you want to have that goal? Can it provide alternative medicine for your child who is suffering with an illness that only extra income would take care of because it's not covered under insurance? Why is this important to you? When you can attach the why to your goal, you will find a deeper meaning of purpose to your everyday life. And then I want to encourage you to start visualizing your success and maybe even make a dream board. Put it up there. In fact, today something interesting happened. I was reading my goals that at the beginning of each year, I write down a goal. And then sometimes I keep old ones up there too. And I'll just read it over and over. But then, you read it so many times that sometimes it becomes, you forget because you read it so many times, it becomes routine. You almost forget what it says. And I was reading one of my goals and my goal said that we will earn $100,000 in passive income from our investments, from our investment portfolio. And it shocked me because just this past weekend, we were looking at our investment portfolio, and we have a particular investment that's paying out pretty strong dividends, that's paying out $100,000 a year in dividends from that investment portfolio. Now, I don't think it's coincidence, and I don't know if I was intentionally doing that when I made that investment choice. However, I I wrote it down, but then it was there on the board every single day. And I would read it over and over and over again. And your subconscious mind will make little decisions that you think aren't making a difference in the moment of doing them, but you will propel yourself forward to do the things that will get you to what you really want to be doing and what your goal is. And so I know I've kind of given money examples, and it's not always about the money. Sometimes it's more important about, being able to take care of your grandma, or be able to provide more for your children and do all those things. That's important. You want to have that up there. What does that look like to you? What does it look like for your child to be able to take that alternative medicine that you're able to afford with that extra income that you're earning? What does it look like when you're able to provide more for the charity that you love and it hurts your heart out there? A world problem that you can solve because of your either financial contribution or your time contribution, because you're intentional about it. So visualize your success. Put it out there. In fact, I even had a dream board that I made when I was single and I wanted to be a financially free fiance. I'll never forget the day I was sick of being single. And the last guy I had dated broke my heart, and I cried many tears, but I decided that's it. I'm getting married. So I called my best friend Judith. I'm like, Judith, I'm getting married. And she's like, to who? You're not even dating anybody. I'm like, I don't care. I've got my, 3x5 whiteboard that you get from the office store. I've got 2 bridal magazines, a scissor, and some glue. I'm going to go to Starbucks. Come meet me, and we're going to plan my wedding. She's like, okay, I'll meet you there in 10 minutes. So she meets me there, and we're cutting out, the bridesmaids' dresses. We chose this really cute pink fuchsia. We picked out the 5-layer cake. We picked out groomsmen. We picked out the groom, which happened to be taller and skinnier than I usually had a taste for. And then also this engagement ring. I'm like, this is really pretty. This is like an engagement ring that I would want. And I just put this vision board up in my upstairs closet next to my bedroom. So every time I got ready, I'm visualizing my wedding. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous to you, okay? But when I started dating again, I decided to hide that board inside my closet. Took it down because I didn't want these guys that might be touring through my apartment and being like, look at this crazy girl, this crazy woman who wants to get married. This crazy marriage crazy girl. So I didn't want to scare them. I put it away. Well, Dave and I, if you remember the story from last session, we met, we got married, and that was it. But when I was moving and packing boxes to move to his place, the day after we got back from our honeymoon, I found the board and I was shocked. I was like, wait a minute, no way. I had forgotten I had made this thing. And I only looked at it for maybe 90 days before I tucked it away. And I said, wait a minute. There were the pink dresses, the 5-layer cake, the guy that was taller and skinnier than I normally have a taste for. And it had all come true. But the most shocking one was this engagement ring right here, which I've never taken off my finger, so I can't right now because my fingers have gotten fat over the years. But this engagement ring right here was this exact same specific cut and color and ring setting. The chances of having all 3 of these be the exact same one that I put on my board is like 1,000,000 to 1 chance. And it all came true. So be careful what you ask for, because sometimes you get exactly what you ask for. So the last topic I wanted to end this evening with is to help you define your unique superpower. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, to laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics, and to endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world in a bit better place, whether a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. So each superhero that we all know has a unique power. Like Thor has the power of thunder. Hulk's got the power of Hulk smash. Wonder Woman, she holds the lasso of truth. And you have a unique superpower too. My business partner, Dawn Brinkley, she's always telling people what their superpower is. She says, Melody, your superpower is drawing people to you. You're magnetic. Sylvia, your superpower is that you can always find someone to help you no matter where you are. You're sweet and lovable, Sylvia. Patrick, your superpower is you give off an aura of trust and knowledge. You're trustworthy. Betty, random people just talk to you at length and you listen and give great advice. You are endearing, Betty. Now, my superpower, I've identified over the years, finally took me a while to figure out who I was and what my superpower was, but it's to encourage people and to make them feel loved, to the point that I gave myself the superhero name, Chief Encouragement Officer. So what's your superpower? I know Atma's, I call him Batman. He calls himself Batman too, Atma, Batman. Anyway, you could play with the letters and stuff like that. But we each have a superpower. You have a unique superpower. You know what it is, even if you're like, yeah, well, I think it is, but I'm not sure. No, that is your unique superpower. You got to be proud about it. You got to wear it with honor. You know, what do you enjoy doing? Maybe you don't know what it is. What do you enjoy doing? What do you enjoy spending your time doing? What are you good at? Maybe it's not a talent. Maybe it's something that you're good at when it comes to working with people or a specific task at work. What are the things that you're good at and that you enjoy spending your time doing? That's your unique superpower. And each of us needs all of us in this world. Because if there were two Hulk smash powers, then Hulk would not be needed at every battle. And if there were two gods of thunder, or lords of thunder, I forget which one he is, there is one unique superpower. And so that's why God created you to have your unique power to be able to do the things that only you can do here on this earth. Your life makes a huge difference. You know, I want to tell you that you are a unique gift to this world. You've got a special dream that was placed inside of you by God. And He planned your life long before you were born. Your parents may not have planned you, but God did. And He created you to do good on this earth. He gave you the gifts to succeed in your dream. Otherwise, you wouldn't have those dreams. Even if you're unsure of your dream that's stirring inside of you, that's Him calling you to step into your greatness. So no matter where you come from, what you're going through, or the mistakes that you've made, when you accept the love that God has brought to this earth for you, you will be empowered to live a life of fulfillment and joy. You may have felt mistreated or misunderstood growing up. There were times when I didn't feel loved for who I was. But what gave me the courage to believe in myself was knowing that we are all unconditionally loved by God. And in today's social media age, it's easy for us to forget and to feel constantly comparing yourselves to others. But remember, God's love for you is not based on your followers, your likes, or your accomplishments. It's based on who you are. And you don't need to prove anything to earn His love because it's already yours. See, if you're relying on people to tell you your worth, you'll always be disappointed. But if you look to God, you'll be reminded daily how incredibly worthy that you are. So what are you going to be about? You will influence so many people in your lifetime, no matter how big or small your role is, because everyone influences someone, even if it's just your little brother. So what will you be about? Choosing what you're going to be about in life is a big deal. Think about the kind of influence you have and you will have on this earth. Do you want to be known for what P. Diddy did? Or do you want to be known like Chris Pratt, our guardian of the galaxy, who uses his fame and fortune to support various charitable causes? He supports children's hospitals. He provides clean water to communities in need. Both people are extremely famous and have huge influence. But it's important to consider what kind of impact you'll have on others. So strive to be someone who lifts people up, inspires positive change, and leaves a lasting legacy of goodness. Because your choices today will shape the person you become and the mark you leave on this world. And here, if you want to see different things, don't wait for others to fix it. You go be the change that you want to see. The next time you see something that isn't right, whether it's at work or school or your club, don't wait for the leadership to fix it. They have enough on their plate. You want to learn how to be the next leader in your company? You go be the change. You go create the solution and you help implement it. Because if God gave you the vision that things could be better, that means that he gave you the ability to go make it better. I want to tell you that your life will have a ripple effect, even if you don't think that you're a big deal. I want to tell you that you are a really big deal. You know, Bob and Sue Joseph, who are my really good friends in this business, they decided to dedicate their lives to developing and growing leaders. I remember the day they decided they were going to go from just being regular producers to being developers of leaders. And then they went and developed an amazing leader, Elsie Mendez. And Elsie inspired her to dedicate herself to mentoring others. And one of the people that Elsie mentored was Glenda Oriana. And Glenda ended up impacting hundreds of people in the Spanish community who now have hope and opportunity here in the United States. Glenda is providing an opportunity for English second language people and immigrants to be able to create and provide an income for their families who used to be doctors and lawyers in their old country. But when they moved here, the only work that they can find was housekeeping and, waitressing and that kind of stuff, being in the kitchen, which is great and, wonderful thing to do. But she was able to give them an opportunity to empower them with a vehicle to be able to provide more for their families, like they were living in their home country. And so all of that came from Bob and Sue, who had first decided to be a positive influence. And their ripple effect spread so widely, it's now caused waves all over North America. So I want to encourage you to have the courage to embrace God's calling for your life. Even if you don't see the entire picture right now, that's perfectly okay. That's perfectly okay. And when I was writing my book, it was never something I had actually ever planned to do when I first ventured into the world. I never thought. If you asked me last year if I was interested in writing a book, I'd say, heck no, I don't have the time. I don't have the patience. Right? But then I realized once the book came out, everything I had did in my life prepared me for this very moment. And speaking in front of you here today as well, which is now my biggest purpose and cause is to develop the next generation of leaders in this world. So I want to encourage you to embrace your uniqueness and let your life shine. Just like superheroes, you have the power to make the difference. I want you to believe in yourself and never let anyone tell you that you can't achieve greatness. Your potential is limitless. and the world needs your superpower. So I'm going to end with a little bit of a commencement speech for you, because now that you have unlocked your superpowers, you are ready and equipped to navigate the challenges and seize big opportunities. I want to encourage you to believe in yourself. Don't wait for others to believe in you. You've got to be the first one. Believe in your mission if you don't know how to believe in yourself. And remember, you were created for a great purpose that only you can fulfill. Don't take things personally. As leaders, you're going to face criticism, setbacks, and obstacles. Understand that the negative comment is more about the person who's dishing it than the person receiving it. Maintain your focus and stay resilient, because you are stronger than the obstacles that come your way. Take initiative and action. The world is full of opportunities waiting for those who are willing to seize them. Be proactive, take risks, show up early, stay late. Great leaders don't wait for things to happen. They make things happen. So go be bold. Take charge of your destiny. You have the power to create a positive impact on the world. Take responsibility for your life and your choices, because by taking responsibility, you empower yourself to make positive changes in your life. Remember, you are the author of your own story, and it is up to you to write the chapters. You hold the pen to your life's narrative. I want to encourage you to choose the glass half full. Your perspective on life can significantly impact your happiness and success. Embrace optimism and look for the silver lining in everything that you do and the goodness in everyone that you meet. Your positive outlook can light the way for others. I want to remind you to use your Riz when you're dealing with people. What's Riz? Charisma. Relationships are the key to a fulfilling life. So use your charisma to listen to others, understand, and genuinely care for others. In fact, don't listen to people to respond. Listen to understand. You can make a difference in someone else's life. Remember to choose your mate wisely. And the people that you surround yourself with, especially your life partner, will play a crucial role in your journey. Seek a partner who supports your dreams, encourages your growth, and shares your values. Because together you can build a life fulfilled with joy, love, and purpose. And together you can conquer any challenge. Go for your dreams. Do what sets your soul on fire. Your unique superpower was given to you to make a difference in this world. God will only give you the dreams that you can handle. And in closing, remember that leadership is not about power, but about how many lives you can empower. I love you guys. I believe in you. You're now equipped with everything you need. And remember that the world needs your leadership. So go save the world. God bless you. I appreciate you so much. And thank you so much for spending the time with us.